Blitz. It's the Twitter Blitz. It's the Twitter Blitz. Yeah, it's a Twitter Blitz! Oh my freaking goodness. Welcome to another exciting edition of
Twitter Blitz!
And the crowd is simply flipping its goddamn freaking shit, cause we've got a star-studded panel today, and we're paying tribute to everyone's favorite ollie-flipping, ultra-super-duper left-wing journalist and most coveted beanie baby on eBay, Tim freaking Pool! I'm Creationist Cat, and now let's say hi to our guestess with the bestest, starting with rising left tube superstar, Jack Saint!
Thanks for having me on, CC. Have to say, though, kinda gonna have to take issue with the idea that Tim Pool's super left-wing.
Well, we've consulted experts on this one, Jack.
Tim Pool is a leftist. He's dang close to a socialist.
So, you're wrong, but thanks for cutting your hair for the show and not looking like a damn dirty hippie! Next, he's the #1 ranked goalie in the Feline Soccer League and America's #1 tuxedo cat, Cortez the Cat! Oh! Also making his debut on Twitter Blitz today, he's YouTube's favorite shooting top hat wearing obliterator of SJW's snowflake libtard cocks, Rational Big Boy!
Thank you. Good news, CC. I brought facts and logic with me today, and there's enough for everybody.
Oh my god! That's freaking amazing! Yep, facts and logic for everyone! But wait, don't get too excited now. We also have my shit for brains human slave. Well, all right! Well, we're about to get started, but before we do, it's time for
Capitalism!
And that capitalism is
Raid Shadow Legends!
a super duper dope-tastic fantasy turn RPG done right.
if you're looking for an incredibly free game where you brutally murder hideous demons from hell with a machete while being a dude who looks like the Toxic Avenger with a braided soul patch, then this game's for you.
There's over 400 champions for you to collect, personally customize, and then commit grisly acts of violence with. I love killing things!
Yeah, I think this character's my fave, because he kinda looks like Joey Salads.
And not only that, now you can play Raid both on your freaking mobile and your freaking desktop.
The game is cross-device, so you can play with the same user and switch between devices.
The graphics in the PC version are totally amazeballs, and the game is super fast.
Hey, what's the point of being alive if you don't have giant boss fights, PvP battles, and get to shoot evil skeleton monsters in the brain?
I don't want to live in a cruel world without that.
You don't have to, because like we said, it's
Free!
Yes!
So what are you waiting for, you lazy bastard? Go to the freaking video description, click on the special links, and get 50,000 silver. And a free Epic Champion is part of the new player program. Good luck, and I'll see you there. I'll be this guy right here. Come at me, motherfucker! And we're back! And the crowd is going wild. These people clearly love hardcore demon murder and capitalism. Our panel is ready to go, so Tim Pool. Now, the last we saw of this brave, intrepid reporter who's always known for citing the bestest and most unbiased sources known to man, Bionic Reuben guy had found him inside Dave Rubin's skull cavity.
What the fuck is Tim Pool doing in here?
But he's back, and today we're paying tribute to this icon of journalistic integrity, starting with this tweet right here, where he took quite a bold stance for free speech. Jack, you want to take this one?
Sure. She took off her top, jiggled her breasts, and said, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." Why would anyone praise that? Sorry, could I get a little context on this?
Sure, Cece, if I may, this is actually in response to Ugandan feminist Dr. Stella Nyanzi, a political prisoner who is currently serving an 18-month prison sentence for writing a protest poem about her vagina. Seriously. And during her sentencing, She said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you repeatedly and did this. That is amazingly badass, but the point is, Tim claims to stand for free speech principles, but when he encounters a legit free speech hero, he just finds them kind of rude.
Well, in my book, you're not a free speech hero until you've had a milkshake thrown at you.
And to be honest, I don't know. I think that's pretty impolite.
Yeah, I mean, Dave Rubin was able to fight for his free speech without having to get his titties out.
Can't say the same thing about Alex Jones, though, can you?
Well, speaking of Alex Jones, our next tweet comes from NXVIM, who writes,
Tim Pool boasts what a hashtag rationalist, hashtag skeptic he is, and proceeds to praise InfoWars in the very same stream.
I don't care if you're Fox News, the New York Times, or Wilford Brimley. If you tell me something, you've got to back it up. If I don't see it, I don't believe it, right? Pixar didn't happen. InfoWars has done a good job over the past several years of moving more into the mainstream. They've gotten away from a lot of the crazier conspiracy stuff. So yeah, a lot of the stuff they put out now isn't fake news.
Oh wait, what's this tweet right here? Holy shit, Alex Jones is talking about aliens making human-animal hybrids on Rogan right now.
20 years ago, they had cows that produced human milk. 20 years ago, they had spiders that produced body armor, spider guts.
oh, come on, that's a low blow. I mean, it was very brave of him to stand against media giant Wilford Brimley there.
Diabetes.
I think I've seen that clip. Didn't he promote the Seth Rich conspiracy theory?
Sorry, soy boy, I'll have you know that's fake news. He actually got lamestream media sites to retract that statement.
Okay, we gotta unpack this a little bit. First, Tim threatens to sue journalists for saying that he pushed the Seth Rich conspiracy. He actually got retractions. And meanwhile,
I'm personally inclined to believe that there is at least a greater than probability chance, again, my opinion, that Seth Rich was in fact the leaker. Now with Kim.com's statement, I'm sitting around a 57 to 65% chance that that Seth Rich was the leaker.
Pixar, it didn't happen, Tim.
Oh, come on, guys. He said it had a greater than probability chance. That doesn't even mean anything.
CC, he said it had up to a 65% chance of being true. How is that not pushing it?
Well, how can we be sure that video's not a CGI psyop from the deep state?
So you're saying it's a deep state deep fake?
Yeah, basically.
Well, we could all be deep state deep fakes then, couldn't we?
Do you have any evidence that we're not?
Wait. I just searched for it and I found a site containing the broadcast. It looks like the videos were removed. It's a little suspicious.
Still could be the deep state though.
Hey, speaking of getting things removed, remember the time that Poole helped get a horror movie permanently shelved?
One character asks early in the screenplay for the hunt. At least the hunt's coming up. Nothing better than going out to the manor and slaughtering a dozen deplorables. That's a line in a movie they thought was appropriate to come out right now, especially with everything happened. Pull the movie.
And then when it got banned, he said simply, whoa.
Oh, come on. You think Poole could get a movie banned? He can't even understand memes.
What they just put bottom text here. And they used a meme generator. It's like they didn't even know they were supposed to change this. They had no idea what they were doing.
Well, he was at the White House less than a month before then.
Oh, come on, guys. He said right after that the film should still come out.
Pull the movie. Seriously, I mean, look, man. I'm not saying the movie should be pulled necessarily.
Sure, but he still employed the same level of outrage he mocked others for having over the Joker.
But seriously, think about how it escalated. Oh, it's a movie for incels. He's a hero to the white underclass that created Trump, and then finally they are going to inspire violence. That's where they ended. But I'll tell you what, man, there are gonna be people who see this, crazy people who take it seriously, and they're gonna panic. Because I think it's going to make people, it's gonna escalate everything.
And moving on, Tim Pool seems shockingly desperate to breed in this tweet right here.
I'm someone with economic security, and I'm looking for a mother and a wife, not a nurse practitioner. I don't need a wife who has a job. I'm not saying just be a mom, just be in the house. No, I'm saying like, literally, I work all day and then afterwards I'm sitting there like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna play video games or something.
You know what, Cece? You didn't show the best part.
There are some people who want a traditional wife, be at home, clean the house, whatever, that's fine. Where are the women who want to be at home and raise a family? That's the struggle I'm facing.
Because he's basically saying right there, I'm not looking for a trad wife, but I'm looking for a trad wife.
Yeah, I don't want a trad wife. I just want a woman with no job who can raise my kids, make me dinner, and fuck me.
I think you just described my dream girl.
I'm looking for someone who wants to be a good mother and create human beings.
Honestly, he sounds like a man with no soul who just wants a robot that can cook for him and he can ejaculate into.
I know. I feel sorry for him. I hope he finds his one true sex robot sperm receptacle love.
I think Tim needs to change up his game or something. I don't know. Maybe try a new hat? Well, all right, people. We'll be right back, but now it's time to thank our premium Patreon supporters while this montage plays of Tim Pool calling the left totally insane.
The left has gone insane. The left is kind of going crazy. The left is being driven absolutely insane. The left has become psychotic, and it truly terrifies me. It's been taken over by complete psychopaths, and it really does terrify me today. And I'm going to make the bold statement that the left is trapped in a paranoid delusional state. They're in an anger-induced paranoid delusional state. The paranoid delusions come from the left. These people are nuts. The left, as we know it, has gone nuts. Crazy. Absolutely insane. The left has gone completely off the rails. Well, that's the end. The left are gonna go insane.
And we're back! And the crowd is going totally freaking insane over Tim Pool saying the left is going totally freaking insane. And you know, I for one believe him, because just look at the search results when I type in Trump on his channel. I mean, come on. Does this look like some kind of shameless right-wing pandering to you? Or, actually, okay, never mind. Never mind, I said stop! All right, back to our Tim Pool power panel. And next, for many, Pool first came to notoriety when he bravely entered the violence-infested no-go zones of Malmö, Sweden, with funding from InfoWars' Paul Joseph Watson to investigate the insidious immigrant crime wave. What he found was nothing short of riveting stuff.
So we're walking around Rosengard. It's kind of boring. You know, I don't know what you'd expect to happen here. It's just a neighborhood. There's, they call it one of the problem areas, but there's just a bunch of people walking around with some old people shopping.
You know what the most dangerous part about this is, Tim?
What?
The ice on the ground.
There it is, yeah. They don't salt.
Oh my God, I can't believe he risked his life like that. I mean, what if he had to walk downstairs?
Yep, banisters aren't gonna help, that's for sure.
Not really seeing much in terms of an immigrant crime wave, though.
Well, Joey Salad says it's a war zone. I always tend to believe people that are known for staging videos where black people smash cars with Trump signs and urinate into their own mouth.
And I'll be going to Sweden to the no-go zones where there's explosions going on, migrants roaming the streets, you know, raping people, and crime rate is through the roof.
If this really is considered to be, you know, the poorest or worst place in Sweden, wow. I mean, Sweden's doing pretty well. A lot of space, big rooms. Have you seen robberies or gang activity?
No, not at all. I mean, there was one 14-year-old that had like a pretty loud cracker. You know, a firecracker? Firecracker.
Holy crap! Underage immigrant thug children running around with weapons-grade explosives? Sounds like a bloodbath.
Not really sure if a firecracker is considered weapons-grade explosives, CC.
Yeah, well, tell it to this surgical glove some guy filled with hot dogs and then taped its fingers shut around a firecracker. Didn't go so well for the hot dogs.
That's an M80. Literally a quarter stick of dynamite.
Tell it to the hot dogs. Next up, Pool really stuck it to the fake news witch hunt media circus that is Trump's impeachment when he made this scathing comment about how it totally failed to entertain him.
I'm sorry, but this is like watching paint dry. Why would anyone think Americans want more of this?
Oh my God, he totally owned the Trump impeachment hearings. Stick a fork in it, it's done.
Well, it's basically the congressional equivalent of a court hearing, so it's not going to be like a monster truck show.
Oh, good point. Pelosi totally should have called in the gravedigger to testify.
Oh, that so would have ruled. Oh! Oh!
Well, that wasn't my point, but
I think I know what the problem was, because the same thing happened to me. Fast and Furious 6 was playing just one channel over from C-SPAN. It took me 45 minutes before I realized Representative Andre Carson wasn't Vin Diesel.
I think this actually hits on something that I wanted to bring up that a similar tweet highlights. If you think I'm going to watch the impeachment trial, then you're dead wrong. Now, this is one of the least surprising Tim Pool tweets ever, because I don't think he even reads the articles before taping them. Like, take his recent video, Massive Surge of Credible Sightings of UFOs in 2019.
2019 was a banner year for credible UFO sightings.
So later he says this.
And the Army announced a partnership with Blink-182 frontman Tom DeLonge to the Stars Academy to research alien technology. Now that I can't explain.
Now, I'm sorry, but there's a hyperlink right there. He could have explained it. He could have easily explained it. And then he scrolls down, and there, right in front of his face, Tom DeLonge's alien hunting group partners with US Army. And look, I wouldn't point it out, but he does it all the time.
And here's what happens when he gets further along in the article.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's also anti-Semitic. They added that too. You know what, man? I'm over it.
It seems like Tim was genuinely surprised to read that bit, almost as if he hadn't read the article fully before deciding to make a video on it.
And look at this. This is just some, oh, Jesus Christ. This is some really sad stuff. I don't even think he read the headline before making this video.
No sense of what's happening right now in politics to make a movie like this. It's called Hunting at the Manor.
It's called The Hunt. It says it right there in the headline of the article. How could you get this wrong? I know why you got it wrong, because look at the picture right there. It says Hunting at the Manor. That's the first thing he looked at, and he thought the name, oh my God, he does not do any work. He does not read his articles. Jesus fucking Christ! I've had enough!
Ladies and gentlemen, we're temporarily experiencing difficulties. Please stand by.
And we're back! That was highly disturbing. I think we broke Vadim there, but he's okay. He's got his security blanket and Mr. Binky with him to reduce stress. Hug someone you love, people, because, I don't know, the world can just totally overwhelm your brain sometimes.
Okay, I really don't want to upset Vadim, but as for Tim not reading the articles, I just think he doesn't understand Tim's journalistic process.
Yeah, Tim just wants to be in the moment with his journalism. Doing research would ruin that.
That's right, it's a Zen thing!
Okay, was it a Zen thing when he called this article debunking the Sefrich conspiracy theories fake news?
The same organizations that write fake news and then 6 months later change it, and no one knows what the changes were because they already read the fake version of the story.
Because right here it says compare with original.
Yes, and if he had taken just 2 minutes to click on the previous, which was also the original post, and bothered to compare it word for word to see if it was really fake news like I did, he would have seen that literally the only difference between the two articles are... wait for it... they deleted the words Hannity's interest is piqued and added the words which the studio decried as fake. That's it. Under no metric is that fake news.
Well, it's got the word fake in it, so I'll give him a pass on this one.
Next, Poole made a keen observation on the censorious nature of the dystopian hellscape we live in when he tweeted, "How the fuck are people justifying creating a world like the ones depicted in Fahrenheit 451 and 1984?
Fahrenheit 451. Yeah. People, I've actually never read it, but there was a bunch of posts about it being about how our society gets so offended, we decide to start self-censoring and destroying books.
Yeah, it's pretty clear Tim never read it, because it wasn't about the liberal snowflakes getting too offended. It was about the state coming in and burning the books that the liberal snowflakes enjoyed.
Oh, come on. Next you're gonna say it was inspired by the CIA burning books about communism or something.
That was actually literally Ray Bradbury's inspiration for it.
Well, in that case, burn it!
Tim actually brings up pop culture references in movies all the time in pretty weird ways, and has some rather unique takes.
Cue the freaking montage!
The Space Force. You know, we have all these shows, you know, you have Starfleet and Star Trek. This is the beginning of that. You ever watch Star Trek? Mm-hmm. You know the Borg? Mm-hmm. You know the movie Men in Black? Where, you know, Will Smith, aliens, suits, they did a remake, it was terrible. They're probably real people. The footage was confiscated, and he was told never to speak of it again. It's the Men in Black. T'Challa, the main character, you know, the guy, he's literally Black Panther, was basically like a Trump supporter. Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan didn't come out and say, oh, this movie's not for white people. No, they said this movie is for everybody, and we're just trying to celebrate, you know, celebrate people's history, and it's meant to be positive, and everybody, that's really cool. I really like that you guys are doing that. I don't want my wife to have a job. I'll take care of the family. It's relatively socially unacceptable. There's an episode of Family Guy. I've always actually aspired to be more like, you know, Jet Li or Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee as great heroes of talent. I don't even mind if Marvel wants to make a movie that's overly feminist. Do not make it a big feminist film. It seems like people are judging the movie before they've even seen it, and they're pushing social justice instead of making an epic hero's journey. Personally, I'm just not gonna go see it. So it's coming up this weekend. I hope it does well. I hope it's a good movie, because I want to see it. I think it'll actually be pretty good. I believe the movie is bad. I don't want to keep ranting on Captain Marvel. I can't believe how many videos I've made about this. You know what? I'm done ranting on this. I can't believe I ranted as long as I did. I have no problem making a ton of videos about Captain Marvel. I felt slighted by The Last Jedi. Attack of the Clones has 65. I like Attack of the Clones.
Less suffering is better, and that I am willing to...
I will tell you something you won't like to hear, though. Utilitarianism is typically the villain in most movies.
I don't care.
Yeah, so for instance, like Thanos was utilitarian, and Captain America was deontological. So Thanos willing to reduce the suffering by killing, you know, hundreds of trillions, versus the, you know, thousands of trillions, which would be living better off. So, side comic book movies.
So Tim Pool is Captain America and Sam Seed is Thanos. Lib Cuck destroyed.
Well, I don't know if analogies like that really work, because he's not, like, using it as a way of explaining a complicated topic. He's just using it as the example. This is an example of a bad thing that happens in the real world. Avengers Infinity War.
And finally, from time to time, Tim has some slightly disparaging things to say about the media.
The media is insane.
Oh hey, the media is outright insane.
What the fuck is wrong with the media?
The media has no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
CNN and other media bullshit just vomits out of context talking points to sell clicks. Okay, panel. Thoughts?
Well, clearly he doesn't use Grammarly.
Well, I got the impression he doesn't really like the media.
Personally, I thought it was a fierce takedown of the globalist-funded lamestream media. Yas, slay, queen.
No, Earth the dipshit.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay, well, obviously the media in general on both sides can be terrible, duh. But I think there's just some serious compensation going on here for his ever-flowing geyser of cosmic fuck-ups and his, I don't know, seething hatred for research.
Not to mention the clown car of media hacks this guy networks with, vouchers for, covers for, and gives softball interviews to.
Alright, give just one example.
Mike Cernovich?
New York Times are full of pedophiles. Did you know that most people in the media are pedophiles? Pizzagate is real.
The way I put it is I'm biased but not dishonest.
Yeah.
So if you know that I'm actually not going to overtly dishonest.
You're honestly biased.
Exactly.
Okay, give me just two examples.
Baked Alaska.
So let's cut to the chase and go straight for the political accusations.
Yeah.
Are the people coming here Nazis?
No, absolutely.
White nationalists?
I'm not a white nationalist.
You will not replace us! You will not replace us! Proud to be white! We're proud to be white! Hail victory! White lives matter! White lives matter! White lives matter! White lives matter! White lives matter!
Alright, give me just 16 examples.
Cece, we could definitely give you way more than that. There's no shortage of these people. But I think that possibly the most interesting case, and the least well known, is the Knife of Aristotle Media.
The what's a who's it now?
Well, eventually they changed their name to The Knife. They were a media watchdog company that used a supposedly scientific method that they did not disclose to measure media bias. Oh, and they were started and chiefly run by a sex cult called NXVIM. Higher-ranking female members would get the leader's initials branded into their flesh like cattle, and the leader is currently awaiting sentencing for racketeering conspiracy, forced labor conspiracy, wire fraud conspiracy, sex trafficking conspiracy, attempted sex trafficking, and child pornography, rape. Look, I'm just gonna stop here. There's more.
What the fuck?
Today marks the conclusion of a very graphic trial involving Keith Raniere, who's the person who used to run NXVIM. Women were held against their will, and that there was numerous instances of sex trafficking and sex enslavement.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but it's all true. And yes, not everyone at the Knife Media were members of NXVIM, I think, but several high-ranking members have been proven to be, including Rose Laura Junco, seen interviewed here by Pool. Less than a month after this interview, Keith Raniere, the cult's leader, was captured, along with Smallville's Allison Mack and the woman who Keith instructed her to marry, Battlestar Galactica's Nikki Klein, who was producer at The Knife. And a month after that, the Knife Media closed down. Now, if you have any doubts that these two were linked, we have articles from the New York Times, Vanity Fair, and Playboy down below.
Oh, I'll take Playboy as a relevant source.
Well, if that alone isn't good enough for you, here's Raniere's bizarre patent for the system the Knife was founded on, rating a level of journalistic distortion in media content. He was what is known as a patent troll, which is someone who incessantly creates dysfunctional pseudoscientific patents that don't work. Here's another one of the over 40 patents he created: systems and methods for locating a mobile communication device. Yeah, looks totally legit. Now, look, not all of this information was available to the public at the time that Tim did this rather glowing interview and endorsement of the Knife Media.
Dave Rubin mentioned that you guys were here, and I was excited because I'm like, oh, this is really great. I was actually reading your site earlier today. I do think what you guys do is great, and that's my opinion. But again, I don't want to blanket like you guys are better than everyone else. I want to let people know that they should judge for themselves. But I personally do think that you guys are doing some good work.
Now, it's nice and all, I suppose, that he advised people to vet them, but the New York Times article and others were out there at the time of this interview. He probably should have taken the advice himself. And if he either took the time to research them or had basic journalistic scruples or both, maybe he could have avoided praising a woman who, it had already been revealed, bought the cult a sorority house for their sex slaves, with plans to install a sex dungeon, of course, and whom it would later be disclosed offered up her 15-year-old daughter as a sex slave and a virginal sacrifice. Because of course she did. All of that, and maybe he wouldn't have pushed a crank website whose scientific method was devised by a crackpot cult-leading rapist. Yeah, maybe he could have avoided that.
Well, all right! Folks, that's all the time we have for today. Big thank you to all our freaking guests, especially Jack Saint. Make sure to check out our Nick Fuentes and Catboy Gate Exposed video, which you may not have seen because it got age restricted. Links at the end of this freaking video, and consider becoming our patron on Patreon. And make sure, of course, to subscribe to us and, of course, Jack freaking Saint.
Thanks for having me on, CC.
I actually am quite a liberal left-leaning individual. I don't even mind if Marvel wants to make a movie that's overly feminist. If I was gonna watch an intersectional exploration, I would make a new hero called, misogyny woman, whatever. You get the point. What if the reason we haven't seen aliens is because there are decoy humans that walk around doing stuff and we just can't tell they're decoys? Wouldn't that be freaky? But the left is fractured completely. I'm evidence of it, right? So is Dave Rubin. Attack of the Clones has 65. I like Attack of the Clones.
Mr. Bustin' with happiness seeing you again, Annie.
Come on, Antifa. What you thought? Smash patriarchy. No! No, I don't want to die. Oh man, this is getting rough. The left were the ones complaining about this. Well, now you reap what you sow.
He's narrating his own tweets.
Adults can't see that they're being fed this nightmare reality.
And now here we are with the Democrats promising health care to people who aren't citizens. Makes no sense.
So where does that end?
Civil war, chaos. You know what, man, this is why I keep saying that something bad, the escalation is inevitable, that there will be conflict. When Taylor Swift, someone as famous as her, gets involved in the culture war, there's no escape. She's gonna start radicalizing people, and people are gonna start going crazy.